Okay. Why don't we just go ahead and do quick introductions so we know who's on the call, and then as soon as we do introductions, I'm going to ask everyone to mute, because when we get this number of people, sometimes we'll get background. So let's just go ahead and do introductions now, and then we'll unmute. Let's see. Jesse?
This is Jesse Allen, West El Paso, Texas.
Awesome. Cheryl?
What else do you want me to give a bio?
No, that's fine.
Just say hi. Yeah.
Cheryl Saavedra, District Membership Chair.
Excellent. Thank you. Twyla? Okay, we're not hearing you. Let me see if you're on mute. You're not. So you're not, we can't hear you, but you don't seem to be on mute. It may just be your microphone. If not, you can call the phone number that came with the email, and you can just use the phone for your audio. Yeah, it's quiet. Do you have the phone number that came with the email? Not sure. Okay, let's keep doing intros. Mike?
Go. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm in El Paso.
Okay.
I'm trying to register for the district convention, so go on.
Gotcha.
I'm an AG down here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clint?
I'm Marge.
Oh, hi, Marge. Go ahead.
I'm Marge McKenzie. I'm having Santa Rosa and Tooth and Carry Club.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Clint?
I'm in Alpine, Texas today, getting ready to go to Dallas.
Awesome. Thank you. Mary?
Mary Bresnahan, AG for Rio Rancho, Sunrise, Del Sol, and Socorro, and I'm a member of the Albuquerque Sandia Club.
Great. Thank you. Bruce?
There, now I'm unmuted. Bruce Bortner, AG in the central area for the Albuquerque Club, the Albuquerque Del Norte Club, and the Grants Milan Club. And my club is Del Sol.
Excellent. Governor Lonnie?
Lonnie Leslie, Clovis Rotary Club.
Thank you. Todd?
Yes, I'm AG for Clovis High Plains, Farwell, Texaco, Portales, and Melrose. And I'm with the High Plains Rotary Club.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, Linda?
Hi, I'm Linda Woodward. I'm from the Little Engine That Could, the Anthony Rotary Club. And as most people know, I'm going to be something. I'm not even sure anymore after this past weekend. I am going to be your district governor-elect sometime soon, 2018, 2019.
Awesome.
So
okay, that is, I think we have everything covered who is on the phone. And as I said, Twyla, if your microphone is not working, you can call the phone number that came in with the email and we'll have you on the phone. At this point, if everyone would go ahead and mute, and we're going to go through the website. I'm logged in today as Jeannie Harshey from Alamogordo. I don't know if Jeannie's going to be able to join us, but she graciously gave me her login and password so we can look at what an assistant governor would see on Rotary Club Central. And so we're going to go through a demo, but if anyone asks any questions or wants me to go someplace that I may not be going, just go ahead and interrupt and we'll take a look. So let me go ahead and bring up my Rotary.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So is everyone seeing the Rotary website?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who were at the Monzano retreat for the AGLG training, we walked the folks there through a lot of Club Central, but we had a couple of issues. One is I was logged in as me, and I'm not an assistant governor, so we couldn't look at the rate a club area. So we're going to be able to take a look at that. We also had some Wi-Fi issues and things. So for those of you who were there, you'll have seen a lot of this, but again, feel free to bring up other things that we may need to show. And for those of you who were not there, we did a pretty significant demo of all of the aspects of Club Central, and we're going to do that again tonight. And it is being recorded. So first, and this may be obvious, but everyone needs a Rotary.org account. And you'll know when you're logged in because you'll notice up here it has the email address of basically Jeannie. So if you're on the website and you're not logged in, you're not going to see this up here. And if you don't see that, then you can't get into Rotary Club Central. You can't look at club goals. You know, people that go to the website who are, let's say, are not members, they want to see things about Rotary. There's a lot you can see on the website. But all of us who are serving in leadership positions, we all need to have Rotary.org logins. So if you don't have one, please go ahead and do that. And Rotary will know if you're an assistant governor or a district governor-elect. So as long as Kathy Fuller, who may join us later, as long as she is providing Rotary with information about who's assistant governors and whatever, you will immediately have access to information about your clubs. And that's what we're going to show you this evening. As I said, if there's any questions, feel free to raise them, or if you want me to go to a certain area, I will. So right now, this is the main screen when you're in what's called My Rotary. So My Rotary means it's My Rotary. I'm Jeannie right now. I'm logged in as her, so I'm going to be able to see things that I would see as if I'm Jeannie. So there are a few things that we wanted to show you before we get into Club Central. One is first of all, there's a number of ways to get to Rotary Club Central. Rotary Club Central is part of My Rotary that has a lot of the club data. So as Jeff Weinreich, oh, there's Kathy. So if I'm logged in as Jeff Weinreich, I can see data about Rotary del Sol, which is my club. You'll be able to see data about your club. So there's a lot of areas of this website where you're going to be able to see this information. One way to get to Rotary Club Central is under Take Action. So the second tab here, you'll see right here, there's under Develop Projects, there's a way to get to Rotary Club Central. You can also get to Rotary Club Central under Manage. Manage is something I think a lot of us will often use because a lot of information here about club administration and district administration. So if you're a district officer, you'll be able to pull up data there. But right here, this fifth link under Club and District Administration also will get you to Rotary Club Central. You can also get to it under Member Center. So this is for each of us, information about things that we may be interested in. Here's Rotary Club Central here under Online Tools. So the bottom line is there's all sorts of ways to get to Rotary Club Central. Just to give you a heads up, you can find it many different ways. Before we get to Rotary Club Central, there were a couple things I did want to show. Under Manage and this Club and District Administration, there's a link here for reports. And I'm going to open that. These are the kind of things you would look at for your own information, like, let's say, your donations to the Rotary Foundation. You'll also see club reports. And what's really interesting here is right here. The Rotary Citation, you can view the Rotary Club report. So right now, and Jeannie is an assistant governor, but one of the clubs that she's an assistant governor of is her own club of Alamogordo. So right now, I'm going to be seeing Alamogordo information, but not because Jeannie is the assistant governor of Alamogordo, but because she's a member of Alamogordo. So if I click on View Rotary Club Report, so this is not something that you can get in Club Central. You have to do it outside of Rotary Club Central. Let's see if it brings it up. Okay. So one thing that you'll notice if you haven't done a lot of navigating in Rotary.org, there are times you get to a window and there's no back. Like you're kind of in this place and you can do things, but if you ever want to go back, you have to hit the back arrow to get, let's say, back to the main My Rotary screen. So if you ever come across a window where you don't see a way to get back, just use the back arrow, and this is one of them. So I'm going to click on the one report that it's giving me an option to see right now, which is the dashboard for 2017-18. So again, this is going to be the Alamogordo dashboard because Jeannie is a member of that club. It's not because she's an assistant governor. And I don't believe there's a way for assistant governors to see dashboards for the other clubs that they are an assistant governor for. There's other things you can see, and we'll take a look at that when we get into Club Central. So here is, and it'll pull up in a second, this is the Rotary Citation Dashboard. You'll see it says Rotary Club of Alamogordo. And this is really great for clubs to see how they're progressing on their Rotary citation. So even if you as an assistant governor can't see a dashboard for a club that you're the assistant governor for, please communicate that they should be able to do this, because this is a nice way to very quickly go through and see how is the club doing towards the citation goals. You know, and this may be something that would be useful for a club assembly, maybe once a quarter. So I mentioned it at the Manzano retreat that we weren't trained on this. I don't know if any of you were trained that there's a dashboard out there. I just happened to stumble across it, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, you know. So please know about this, but also recommend to your clubs that they use this as a way to track how they're doing with the citation. Any questions about this before we leave the screen?
How do you change things?
Because this is the dashboard, you can't change anything in the dashboard.
Okay.
So this is just a, hi Rhonda, how are you? So this is just a view. It's just a dashboard. It's basically to get a snapshot of how the club is doing. If you want to change anything and you have access to change, you would go into the club goals or into the citation area and you make the changes there.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be progress against the goals in the citation.
Okay.
Good question. Thank you. Any other questions about this citation dashboard? And this may be obvious,
to just
but
any member?
I'm sorry, Jesse.
Any member?
Any member, I believe, can see the dashboard of their own club. I believe. I'm not sure because I can't log in as just a member, but I believe that any member can see this. Keep in mind, though, that data that is automatically being updated by Rotary International, which is going to be your membership data and your foundation data, it's going to show up here automatically. But anything about, let's say, service projects or a Rotaract club, anything that is not automatically known by Rotary International, someone at the club, like the secretary of the club or the chair of the committee, needs to be going into this system to update. Otherwise, when you look at the dashboard, it may not be accurate. So it's important for members of the club that have information about volunteer hours or service projects, things like that, that they're going in and updating, because Rotary International is not going to know that. Make sense? Okay. So that's one area we wanted to show you all before we got into Rotary Club Central. I'm going to go back to this screen, and I'm going to hit the back arrow to get me back to the main My Rotary area. Hopefully that'll work. Okay.
Jeff,
Yes.
regarding that area, this is something I think I'd really like for us to highlight and focus at pets so that members know this is information that, if we push this, we're always talking about the citation, but it's like this big, I don't know. This is so visible.
Yeah.
If we show this at pets to the club, I don't know. I think this is something that if we, like, to the cats portion, Jesse?
Yeah, and I agree. This really seems like a central thing when we do talk about the citation.
Mhm.
So that everybody knows it's a way to view progress.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. No. As I said, I was surprised to find that there was a citation dashboard, but once I found it, I used it all the time because it was immediate. And dashboards are really helpful to get kind of a snapshot of how the club is doing. But there's other goals too, and we'll get to Club Central and we can take a look at those.
Jeff.
Yes.
So Linda was talking about making that information available to presidents at pets. The other thing you can do is just download a really quick blurb about it that you can find your presidential citation progress at myrotary.org and put it in the newsletter and put it on the Facebook.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea, Cheryl. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, before we leave this page, there's all sorts of other reports here. And again, this is where, I'm logged in as Jeannie. So if it's individual reports, it's going to be Jeannie's. It's going to be, let's say, her donations to the Rotary Foundation. So if you're interested in personally how you're doing towards, let's say, Paul Harris Fellow points or anything else, you can view that. You can view club reports, and I do believe that any member can view the reports. They can't edit things, but they should be able to view. The membership, here's the membership leads. That's what Cheryl, as the membership chair, does a lot to send out membership leads to clubs that they should be following up. Someone moved into the area or something. So we've got the membership leads, status of club members, and then club giving. So you can get information on how the club is doing with every Rotarian every year, major donor, things like that. So all sorts of report information here that I do believe most, if not all, the members should at least be able to access the reports. I may be wrong about that. I'm not sure. There's also district reports. So all sorts of information here. As I said, the last couple of years, Rotary has done quite a bit of upgrading on the website. So, okay. While we're here, Cheryl, if you can hear me, do you want to mention anything about how to use the membership lead reports?
They don't need to learn how to use those because I manage it.
Okay.
So if they get an email about it, I'm going to send it to them to follow up. What I need is the follow-up back. When they've contacted a member, when a member has come to a meeting, when a member has applied to a club, when a member's been accepted to a club, that type of follow-up. The only thing we're able to report now is that we made the contact and the person who's inquiring was invited to a meeting.
Got it. Okay.
So if they could just follow up with me by email, that would be perfect. Then I could go in and update the system.
Excellent. Thank you. Under exchange ideas, let's see. Yeah, no, it was not exchange ideas. Okay, sorry, it was take action. There's a couple of other links here that are really helpful. Rotary ideas. So we heard about this at District Governor Training in Evanston. You may have an idea for a project and you want to kind of throw it out there and see if there's other clubs that may be interested. So you can post an idea, or you can go out to Rotary Ideas and see other clubs' ideas. So it's an opportunity for partnership. That's a really interesting area. And then Rotary Showcase is a great place to post something that the club has done. It's my understanding that articles that get published in the Rotarian magazine, often they'll find them from Rotary Showcase. So if you've got something that's really exciting, feel free to use Rotary Showcase to kind of post the project, pictures, things like that. Okay. I think at this point, unless there's some other place you want me to go, I'm going to get into Rotary Club Central. And I'll just use this link right here. By the way, I think this is new. They, you know, as any nonprofit, they want to have like the give now, easy to find. So now it's right here. Okay, Rotary Club Central. So they revamped, for those of you who are used to the old Rotary Club Central, they've really revamped this. There's quite a bit of new information here. Okay, so now I am logged in as Jeannie, who is an assistant governor. Okay, so this is the main view. Right now, if you look across these tabs here, it says all club groups right here, and it says Rotary Club of Alamogordo. So the default, when you go into Club Central, is going to be your club, not any club that you're an assistant governor of. But because I am an assistant governor, because I'm Jeannie right now, I can go to this drop down, and instead of all club groups, I'm going to click on my club group. So for assistant governors, you're going to have a my club group. And when I click on that, now, so right now it says Club Group 5520 East Action 5. That must be Jeannie's clubs. And if I now click on all clubs and do a drop down, I'm going to see 3 clubs. My club, because Jeannie is the assistant governor of her own club. So that's, again, if for most of you who are assistant governors, you won't see my club here. You'll see the other club that you're the assistant governor for. And then the other 2 clubs she's assistant governor for are Tularosa and White Sands Alamogordo. I believe Kathy Fuller joined us, so Kathy, feel free to jump in if I miss anything or if you want to add anything as we go through this. So,
thanks, Jeff.
Let's see. So right now I'm going to click on my club. So now I'm looking at the Rotary Club of Alamogordo, but I'm looking at it as an assistant governor. So I'm going to see basic things. I'm going to see membership trends. This is kind of the first screen you're going to see. So this is the dashboard view. Membership trends over the last 5 years. And if you just scroll over any of the bars, you'll see the number. Very nice. Same thing with gender trends. I think, generally speaking, anytime you see a chart in Rotary Club Central, if you pass your cursor over it, you'll see the number. So you don't have to guess. Age trends. So this is again just a high level view. Project trends, volunteers, and so on. Personally, I view this as kind of like a high level view, but there's a lot more detail when you click on the other tabs. We're going to do that now. So this is the dashboard, and I can change it to Tularosa, and I'm not changing anything here. I'm just viewing. So here's Tularosa's membership trends, gender, and so on, project funding, volunteers, and so on. A lot of the information that you'll want to see as an assistant governor is going to be under the Goals Center. So go here. Now that I'm here, I want to make sure that I'm looking at my clubs as an assistant governor. And you'll notice the default is to go back to what it originally was, all club groups. So I need to make sure that I click on my club group. And again, I'll check to make sure, yes. So I'm going to see my club, Tularosa, White Sands, Alamogordo. This is where I'm going to see all the goals that the clubs that I'm the assistant governor of have entered into Rotary Club Central. And as District Governor Doreen continually reminds us, if we have clubs that we're the assistant governor of and they have not put goals in, you know, we're halfway through the Rotary year, and a lot of clubs have not put goals into Club Central, and it's kind of hard to know how you're doing as a club if you don't have goals entered into Club Central. So it's never too late. So I'm going to click on my club. Again, this is now going to be Alamogordo, and I'm looking at it as an assistant governor now. Okay, so now I can scroll through, and you'll see up here all the different categories of goals that clubs can enter, including the Rotary citation. We'll look at that in a second. The first one is going to be members and engagement. So as I scroll through each one, to the right, I'm going to see how we're doing, and let me change the screen. So I can see how we're doing, or how the Rotary Club of Alamogordo is doing with respect to its goal. And it says as of December 12th, so because this is membership, Rotary.org is going to have real-time data. So there's no reason why it would not be as of December 12th. I can click on this to get additional detail. So we're going to get the 5-year history. And the way this looks to me is that in the last Rotary year, Alamogordo had a goal of 100. It achieved 93. And again, that will show right here. Here's 93. That would be at the end of the Rotary year. The goal was 100, okay? So given that, the current club president set a goal of 95 for this Rotary year. So at the end of last Rotary year, it was 93. The goal for this Rotary year is 95. Current membership is 87. And it does that for each of the years, achievement and goal. This looks a little bit different than when you're entering goals, but you kind of get an idea of kind of the history of the club and how it's doing towards its goals. Same thing with service participation. I'm not going to show you all of these, but each one of these you can click on and get more history. So all of the member-related goals are here. It also has Rotarian Action Group participation. I find that interesting. Different district conference attendance. So all the various types of goals related to membership are here. And you can look at each one. But then you can go back up to the main tab and click on the next one, which is going to be Foundation Giving. So at this point, if I want to, just for the heck of it, I'm going to switch over to White Sands. So now I'm, as an assistant governor, looking at the White Sands data. So now I'll go to Foundation Giving. So we have the annual fund contributions and Polio Plus. And again, we can open it to get more detail. So for this current year, the goal is 5,000. So far, 1,750. And again, because it's the Rotary Foundation, the website is going to have real-time information. So we don't have to provide it. It's going to be automatic. And again, here's a 5-year trend. I'm going to assume that goals were not entered for 13-14. That may be why it's not showing up. And again, as an assistant governor, it's good to look at the history. And you can do the same thing with Polio Plus.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
I'm logged in on another computer, so I'm kind of walking through this.
Okay.
If I look at 16, 17, the clubs are all wrong. They're giving me Tularosa and Elephant Butte, Las Cruces, and TRC. Under 17, 18, I'm listed as having East, Franklin, and Northeast, which are Janine's clubs. So I would suggest everybody log in. This wasn't wrong earlier this year. So whenever they made this change, my club assignments aren't correct. Franklin Mountains isn't even an active club any longer.
Wow, that's good to know, Mike.
Real, the Western Sunrise. So everybody should log in and check out, make sure they've got their right clubs assigned.
Boy, that is good to know. Thank you. Okay, by the way,
Mike,
up here you can
that's
also
why
look.
Excuse me, but Mike, that's what I was telling you when you and I talked earlier. I am totally confused as to whose club is what.
Linda, I can provide the spreadsheet that has the clubs and the AG assignment. So we've got that on a spreadsheet.
Okay, because there's some confusion on this, on Club Runner, I think. I don't know what, so I think your spreadsheet probably would be more accurate.
Okay. And I haven't checked since July sometime, so I will. Thanks, Mike. I'll go back and check that.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Club Runner could be right, but this is Club Central, and they don't communicate, so we need to make sure both are right.
Exactly. And also keep in mind, and I don't know, I would expect that Club Central will recognize this, but you notice you've got this 3-year timeline up here, so I can click on this left arrow and bring up 16, 17 if I want to look at last year's data. And I can also go to next year. I don't expect to see much for next year, but you want to make sure that you're looking at this current Rotary year. And some of you may not be an assistant governor right now. Or let's say you may be a lieutenant governor now, and keep in mind, Rotary.org does not know what a lieutenant governor is. So part of the confusion may be which year are we looking at and what is your assignment for the year that you're looking at. I don't know if that's the reason, but that's certainly something we want to make sure we have right.
We have put in officers.
Okay.
That was a requirement for Illinois, for going to the mountain, as I call it. So officers are put in.
Right.
But not their specifics. It's not broken down.
Right. But what I'm hoping, and someone out there may know this, but after January, when club data for the following Rotary year is updated, so clubs are entering their membership chair and their foundation chair, and they start entering goals for next year, if you are an assistant governor for a club next year, hopefully you can start seeing what their goals are. You're not going to see progress, but you should be able to see their goals if you go to 2018-19. I'm hoping. Because it would be nice if you could see what goals they've set before July 1st. So just something to think about. I don't know if that'll work, but if not, it's something that Rotary Club Central should be able to do. Okay.
Who submits the information to Rotary Club Central for club assignment? Because 18-19 is all different from, all 3 years are different on mine, and none of them are right.
Well, that usually is submitted by the governor or the governor's operation people. And so that's why I'm saying we have not put in your breakdown yet.
For 18-19.
Well, there's one in there. 18-19 is in there.
I didn't put it in.
It shows East El Paso, Franklin Mountain, and Northeast.
I didn't put it in. I don't know who put it in. I just put in, we put in names. I put in lieutenant governor and stuff like that, but I didn't put in like places, people, places, and things.
So just to clarify, Mike, you're able to click on this thing called My Club Group. And when you click on My Club Group and go to the right and look at the clubs you're looking at are not your clubs.
Correct.
Okay.
If I look at, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
What is it?
Mine are wrong too.
Wow. Well, it's good to know. You know, we need to, it's a good time to kind of clean up the database and make sure that.
Okay, who said mine are wrong too?
Rhonda,
Okay.
it shows that I've got Espanola, Los Alamos, and Santa Fe Central, and I don't have any of those three.
Well, how come?
Would you like any of them?
Those are Pat Murray's.
Can we just have like a bartering session at Pets? We can just barter clubs.
No, see, guys, I mean, this is, I don't know if you can zoom in on this, but we've got a list. It's only names that we put in.
Yeah.
No clubs.
So
I don't know where the clubs came from.
folks, I can tell you that the district governor, the assistant governors were loaded correctly with the clubs in July. So if it was due to some sort of an update with Rotary International, then I've not gone back and checked since July.
Maybe
Okay.
something collided. We'll get it fixed. We'll
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, this is really important. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Kathy and I will work on this, and we will find out what happened, because all we submitted to Club Central actually was the names that had to be when I went up to Chicago. So I don't know.
Linda, are
Well,
you
glad
talking
we,
about
glad
the
we figured
assignments that Tom Walker put in?
Yeah, but Tom didn't put in any clubs. We didn't have any clubs to put in. We did not put in a club.
Right. Plus, all he was doing was putting in information for next year.
Right.
Right.
He wasn't doing anything for this current year.
Yeah. Well, we now have been alerted that we
Yeah.
need to.
Okay. I'm glad Mike found it. I don't know what happened. Well, look, Kathy and I'll look into this.
Okay.
We don't have anything else to do.
Okay. Okay. Moving along. Okay. So these two, the membership and the Rotary Foundation, for the most part, are going to be updated automatically. The next ones are ones that the club has to input data if you as an assistant governor are going to get an accurate sense of progress, because Rotary's not going to know. So here's service projects. Achievement 1 of 2. So if I remember correctly, the goal is how many service projects. This is not where you look at what the project is. It's basically just a count. So we can look at that here. Young leaders are going to be all of the youth programs. We've got Interact. By the way, the only reason that you're only seeing Interact and RILA is because I believe that's all the White Sands Alamogordo Club set as goals. If I go back up here and go to Alamogordo, I believe, and see Alamogordo, I see the Rotaract clubs because they have a goal for one.
Mm-hmm.
So you may not see everything, all these different categories, if a club didn't do anything in that particular area. Public image. And this is kind of interesting. So they put, does the club have a strategic plan as part of a public image goal? And that's fine. I'm not going to quibble. And you'll notice over here, if you achieve it, it shows it as checked. Online presence, same kind of thing. And these other ones are going to be more quantitative, like how many times per month will your club's website be updated. So it's just how the club is entering its goals, and you can kind of see what the progress is here. You don't see the charts and graphs unless you click on the link to give you the goal details and history. Okay. All right. The next one is the Rotary citation. So this is how an assistant governor can see how the clubs within that assistant governor's purview are doing with the citation. Because remember, when we looked at the citation dashboard, all we could see was our own club. But here, if I click on Rotary citation, and I'm going to go to a club other than Alamogordo, so let's go to White Sands again. So now I'm looking at how is the White Sands Alamogordo Club doing as it relates to citation. It doesn't look like the dashboard, but I can go through every one of these goals that are in the citation, and I can look at the history and the achievement and all of that. So I believe this is the only way in Rotary Club Central for an assistant governor to see progress of his or her clubs as it relates to the citation. You can see all the different categories here. And I believe if I go to the Alamogordo Club, I may see more. Yeah, I'm seeing more because maybe Alamogordo set more of these. So it's not as good as the dashboard, but you can see club progress as it relates to the citation. And then if you click on all, it's exactly what it says. You'll see everything, and you scroll through it, and you can see all the goals for the clubs in your purview. So Goal Center has a lot of good stuff.
Jeff,
Yes.
we're looking, this is Mary, we're looking at this with our AG eyes on.
Yes.
Can an individual club go in and see this, just as a quick overview for that individual club?
Yes, I believe so. You just wouldn't get the different My Club options here. But yes, I believe any member can go into Club Central and view goals. I believe that's true.
Okay, thanks.
I can't test that, but I believe that to be true.
Well, this is Jesse. I'm looking at my own club here. I don't have a AG role, and I can see all this from my club. And I'm officially just a member at this stage.
And by the way, it's interesting. And again, I'm logged in as Jeannie. I'm not me. I can go to this all club groups. Remember, that's the default. And all the clubs are here. They're all here. Now, what's going to be interesting, let's just, just for the heck of it. So, Jeannie Harshey from Alamogordo can look at any club. It's just that if I only want to look at the clubs that I'm assistant governor of, I have to go to my club group. So we can view anything here.
I don't understand. Isn't that being nosy?
Well,
Well, to me, it's being nosy.
Now keep in mind, Jeannie can't change anything. It's just view only. But yeah, any of us can look at any club here. So we're trying to be transparent, right?
Well, yeah, but
yeah. Maybe we just don't emphasize that. I mean, it's just that's how Club Central works. All club groups.
that's kind of being nosy.
Okay. Global View has a few interesting things. If I can remember what they are.
Okay.
I can. Okay. So Global View, first of all, when you're in Global View, you can look at Rotary Worldwide over here. How are we doing worldwide in membership? We can look at our zone if we're interested. But what's interesting, what I found in Global View, if I go back and I'm Jeannie, and I'm going to click on my club group, and here are, if I click over here, it's going to bring up the club goals. So here is Club Group 5520 East Action 5 Summary. So this is for the 3 clubs that Jeannie is the assistant governor for. So here I'm seeing the aggregate of the 3. I'm not seeing them individually. Keep in mind, when we were back in Goal Center, I was looking at Alamogordo or Tularosa or White Sands. Here I can see all 3. I also see that 2 of the 3 clubs have set goals here. But I can always click on View Club Goals, and here come the 3 clubs. So Tularosa didn't set a goal here. So the Global View, I think, is a nice way to, if you're an assistant governor, take a look at your 3 clubs or your 4, however many you're an assistant governor of, and then you can drill down. So if I want to look at Alamogordo, I can get to it from here, and it goes back to the regular Rotary Club of Alamogordo screen. You'll notice back up here, it brought me back to Goal Center because I clicked on that link. So Global View, I think, is nice for assistant governors because you can kind of get an aggregate sense of how your clubs are doing. My club group. And then you can go into whatever level of detail you want. You have the same tabs up here, foundation giving, all the other ones, just like we had at under Goal Center. Okay. Any questions about the Global View or anything else that you wanted me to go to while we were on this screen? By the way, there's also print options here. If you want to print reports, you can print here. I haven't done that, so I don't know what they look like, but it does have a print option.
Go to club ratings.
Okay, well, I hadn't gotten down there yet.
Well, you
So I
asked
will.
if there
It'll
was
be pretty quick. The next few do not matter that you're an assistant governor. So if I click on service activities, there's no longer well, I mean, there's my club, but there's not my clubs. I mean, I can see Tularosa. I believe under White Sands, there is a service project. Yeah, so I can see that there was a service project completed for White Sands. There's a current project, so I can get some project information here with service summary. So that one has some information.
Mm.
Resources, okay, this is what I was thinking. Resources, this is just general. So it doesn't matter that I'm an assistant governor. If I click on resources, I'm going to get resources. So a lot of links here to, setting goals, membership resources, the membership assessment tools. So this is just nice, but there's nothing unique about being an assistant governor here. Just a bunch of nice resources. Reports is, I think, the same. Yeah. So again, this is just reports. And I believe it's going to show me, for club reports, it's going to be Alamogordo because I, Jeannie, am a member of that club. So not much different than when we were getting reports back in my Rotary, when we were not in Club Central. Okay, now we're at club ratings. Whoops. Okay, so this is what we couldn't look at before. So for the 2017-18 year, here are the 3 clubs. Apparently, Doreen has visited Alamogordo. She has not visited Tularosa or White Sands, or she didn't log into Club Central that she visited Tularosa or White Sands. Okay. Here is where I believe, and I don't want to click anything because I don't want to save anything. You can click on a rating. So I can click here, but I don't want to. And I can do 1 to 5 stars. Here's the rating up here. 5 is excellent, good, satisfactory, needs improvement, non-functional. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, assistant governors, you can go in here and click. You don't have to be Doreen to do this. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Jeff.
Now, what's interesting is, Kathy, since you're a member of the Alamogordo Club, do you mind if I click on comment?
Not at all.
Okay. So if Doreen visited the club, she may have entered a comment, and in fact, she did. And I can guarantee you that Kathy did not go in earlier and type this comment in as if it was from Doreen.
No.
Now, so this is Doreen's entry from her governor visit. Okay.
But she visited all 3 of us at one time.
Jeannie, she did. But she also met with our board members, though. So I don't know.
We had a joint visit.
Yeah,
with
but
all 3
but
clubs.
she also met with our board members. So I don't know. Did she meet with the other board members for Tularosa and White Sands?
I'm not aware of that. She did with our board, but
Yeah, but again, she may not have entered it yet.
mm-hmm.
But what's also interesting is that, and I think this was brought up at the Monsanto training, you can also look at last year's ratings. I don't know if you would be able to see a comment. So let's say District Governor Dave visited Alamogordo. This, I would expect, was his rating that year, but I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to see a Dave Anderson comment.
Man,
I don't.
you guys are going to read my comments?
Oh.
Oh, man.
You know what? I can. Because up here, I can click on the back arrow, and I can go back to 16, 17. Here's the ratings. Dave didn't comment. So if the district governor last year wrote any comments about about a club that you're an assistant governor of, you should be able to see it here.
I'm just going to write everything nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yes.
So this is a bug in the system because when I go to clubs under club ratings,
Yeah.
I now have the clubs that I was assigned this year.
Interesting.
Including Espanola, which was an error, but it's showing in here. But West El Paso, Camino Real, and Sunrise are on my list here.
And you have
that's even more interesting that it has it right in one place and wrong in another place.
What are you looking at again, Mike?
So where is it wrong, Mike?
It's wrong under the dashboard, under Goal Center, Global View, doesn't matter. Service activities, it looks like it's wrong.
That's really interesting.
Get there.
But where is it correct?
Here, the club ratings.
But when you get down to club ratings, it's correct.
Huh.
And we knew, I mean, somebody put Espanola under me. I don't know why, but I was.
I want you to travel, dude. Surprise.
That's crazy.
I guess nobody else wanted Espanola. They heard I wanted to go to Pumpkin Chunkin'. I don't know.
There's good hunting up there, Mike.
All right, so
That's
now
true.
I need to ask you all a question because I'm not seeing it. Where in here would I, as Jeannie Harshey, provide information for Doreen about the club? Would I add a comment here? Because I can add a comment, I think.
That's what I would like to see.
I believe, oh, let me go to 17. Oh, yes. Okay, so I believe,
Under comments?
well, no, this just brings up the existing comment. Oh, add new comment. So I'm assuming, because it's giving me the option, that I, as an assistant governor, can add a comment here for my observation.
Why don't you just do it, Jeff, just so we can see if it works then, okay?
But yeah, new comment from Jeannie Harshey.
It'd be
Okay.
nice from me.
Okay,
But
I'm
I
not going
thought
to say
they
that.
were supposed to have a comment for us beforehand. So that,
Right,
and in training, that's what they said.
right. So yes, so the assistant governor can add a comment here. Now what's going to be interesting, I'm going to cancel this.
So just a question, is the idea that these are just comments that are made anytime during the year by AG or DG?
The district governor is supposed to do this shortly after the visit.
So you have an assigned time. Do we tell the AGs they have a specific time to do it? Or is it just when they feel like it?
No, no, no. That's not what we were told.
Okay.
I think you would do it right after you had your club visit.
Wait,
I wasn't able to hear that.
where's Lonnie?
Yes.
Lonnie, we were given a time frame. They told us that we really needed to do this shortly after. By shortly, we said, what was shortly? They said, within a 24-hour period so that, it was stayed fresh in your mind is what they suggested.
Yeah, and with us, they were talking about we just had to have it finished within a month of the end of our district governor year.
Oh, really? You could compile it?
I'm a little bit concerned about who can read the comments.
Yeah, I am too now.
Well, I keep in mind when I was logged in the Monsanto camp, I could not see this. There was no club ratings because I'm not an assistant governor.
Okay.
So we're pretty certain that no club members, just people that are not assistant governors or district governor, cannot see this because we couldn't see it when we did the training at Monsanto camp.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
All right. Yeah,
I think the challenge is how do we get lieutenant governors to see it, because lieutenant governors aren't recognized by Rotary. So it may be that an assistant governor would have to print and email comments to the lieutenant governors if lieutenant governors can't see a screen like this.
Wouldn't another way to do that, Jeff, just be to list your lieutenant governors as, put them on the list for as assistant governors?
I don't believe so, Lonnie. I think we talked about that. I think the issue is that a club can only have one assistant governor.
I'm on a Zoom call for Rotary.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be really easy to just have two people governing over a club. But I think what we talked about in at AGLG training is apparently Rotary.org will not let us assign a second assistant governor to the same club.
Okay.
I just noticed that these two down here that are not in green, I can click on Tularosa and I can add a comment as Jeannie. So I don't need to wait for Doreen. I can do a club visit of Tularosa and add a comment here and click save, and it'll be in the system.
That's fantastic.
That's why I was asking the question. It almost feels to me like this could be a running commentary on a club by AGs, by the GG.
Yes.
And when they're telling you, Linda, to do it after the visit, that's just a specific time you should. But otherwise, it could be a comment any time of the year, I would think.
Correct.
And you know, Jesse, what I was talking about was the rating of the clubs. I had a month to do that after my year, but I had to rate every club. I could choose to make comments or not at that time. Looks like they chose to not do that.
And I'm confused because if Jeff's logged on as an AG here, it looks like he can do a rating. How does it distinguish what's the AG's rating versus the DG's rating?
Yeah, boy, I don't know that.
Because right here it says new comment, Jeannie Harshey.
Now, that's a comment, Jeff, but back on the star
the ratings. Yeah.
Stars.
Yep, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be a question, I think, to ask RI.
Yeah.
And also, it almost has the feeling of something where you could change your mind and re-rate.
Exactly. I mean,
there's no date.
Or they can re-rate me.
Yeah. Yeah, my sense is, see, like right now, Alamogordo is rated 5 stars, but if you notice, if I put my cursor over it, they're going away. So my guess is that this can be changed throughout the Rotary year, either by the assistant governor or the district governor.
Wow.
That's not good.
Jeff, I believe that's true because as an AG, when I go to visit, I do the rating of the stars and then write the comment. So that could change from meeting, visit to visit.
Right.
If there's things going on that say the club is getting more things together, if you will, then that visit might rate it higher.
Right.
But Mary, if you change the rating, is there anything that tracks the history of how you rated it, or just the last one you rated?
I didn't catch all of that. You broke up a little bit.
Does it show the whole history of how you've changed your rating, or does it only just show whatever was the last rating you gave?
I don't remember. I think when I've gone back to a club and I visited more than once, I can see the comment that I wrote every time.
The comments.
And I think the stars are there too.
Yeah. You'll notice too, I can't change the 16, 17. That year is over, right? So this is just for viewing, but here it is definitely changeable.
I guess my question would be, Jeff, if Linda rates a club, can the assistant governor go and change Linda's rate?
Yeah.
That I don't know. And I don't want to go and click on something and save it, and then we have to go back and redo it. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
We'll get this resolved.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some good questions.
It's great that.
Jeff,
We're
can I make a
getting a
request right now? Could we ask everybody to remute their mics? There's
Thank
a
you.
lot of noise.
Thank you.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, Jeff, can I add something here?
Yes.
Okay. Before, this is second year I've been using this, and I didn't know before we went to Monzano. Somebody's still typing. Can you hear it?
I'm sorry. That's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just go ahead and silence your or mute your. There we go. So my understanding was this is for me as the AG. I've only seen my comments here. I've never seen any other comments. Perhaps the district governor's comments or maybe pop up separately. I don't know. But for example, where it says governor's visit, if I'm there with the governor, I put that check mark in there. That yeah, this was a governor's visit. I was there. This is what we did, and here's my assessment of the club.
Right.
As far as I know, I'm the only one that has ever made any changes in any of my clubs on any of the ratings. And what I do is in the comments, if I'm going to change a rating, I tell them why and which way and what the rating is. That's the only way to track it.
Well, what's interesting, Bruce, is when I go back to the previous year, right? So here's 16, 17. All three are checked, and there's no comments. Okay. So now again, this is Jeannie. This isn't you. But what this says to me is that at a minimum, District Governor Dave did not put comments in for these three clubs, because if he did, we should see them here. That's my sense.
Yeah, but those check marks could have been put in by Jeannie. She might have accompanied the governor, and she might have done that.
Well, but
Jeannie, you're here. Jeannie, can you answer that?
Because that's what I do. If I accompany the governor, or even, and I'm going to make a comment, I will put that check mark. Say yes, this was a governor's visit. This wasn't me on my official visit.
But Doreen, I think, can also check this box. I think she can. I don't know if Dave did, but I think Doreen can check the box just like Jeannie can.
But on our visit in Alamogordo, the comments have comments from Doreen.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. So
if I go in and add comments, it's just my comments of a visit to the club. It has nothing to do with her comments, right?
yes. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi.
So I have a question. We had the discussion about what should be the club visit report. You know, in years past, it used to be this form. Am I understanding that what we're doing now for a club visit report is it's effectively just comment fields in this? Is that what Doreen's currently doing?
That's my understanding, Jesse, is
Okay.
that this is where we put our comments now.
And I'm bringing this up because Linda, we had the discussion, remember, of how should we be structuring the club visit reports. So here we're seeing apparently how they're doing it, which seems, especially if you can see all the comments through the year, I think this looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so this was the area that we couldn't see in Monzano, so I'm glad. And Jeannie, thank you very much for allowing me to log in as you. I did not make any changes to your foundation giving, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the club ratings area. Contact us is that, and then
Wait.
yes.
Okay. Since I wasn't there, one of the things I'm a little confused on, then I'm hearing it being done two ways. I need to know how to do it, how the AGs want it done when I visit. Do they want to check the box? Do they want me to check the box? I mean, what was decided up there? And I guess that's what Jesse was hitting on.
Well, I was hitting on specifically, and I'm sorry, that's right, you weren't there. Specifically, what we used to call the club visit report,
Right.
which was generally about a 7 or so item checklist.
Right.
And the discussion at the time was that, oh, well, we don't do that anymore. Actually, we discussed this, I think, at Deming. But we don't do that anymore, that Doreen is doing just more kind of a free form, and that's when Doreen kind of invited us to look at what she's doing.
Right.
And that was all my question is I never have seen that. It sounds like that's what we're looking at here. And that's where Bruce said, yes, that was his understanding too.
Yep.
But now I don't know how the question of the check mark plays into this either.
Well, except that we can't assume that every governor's visit, the assistant governor is going to be with the governor. So I'm assuming that if the governor makes the visit, the governor can check the box if he or she so chooses.
I think that's the best thing, is for the governor to mark that she visited when she did each club, whether the AG's with her or not.
Right.
Then if
Yeah,
she wants
that
to
makes
put
sense.
comments on, it's got her comments, and then the AG can go and add different comments later. You're not going to do anything.
I just didn't want to step on anybody's toes if y'all had decided differently. Okay.
Okay. So remember, we were talking about lieutenant governors. So lieutenant governors right now can't get in here, but an assistant governor can print. And once you print, it can be emailed to make sure that the lieutenant governor is seeing all these comments. So it seems like the only way to involve lieutenant governor is kind of indirectly, because they can't access this directly. But you can print. So if you've got 5 or 6 comments about a club, you can print, and I would expect you're going to print the entire set of comments for any particular club.
But for club visits that the AG makes to my different clubs, when I go visit a club, I come back in here and make a comment to report back to the governor.
Yeah, you can, because so like if you visit Tularosa, you can click on this and you can add a new comment and you can put in your comments on Tularosa.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that's where what I was talking about as a club visit report was the AG club visit report. I wasn't even trying to refer to the DG club visit report.
Right. But right, so if I understood your question, you can, an assistant governor can add comments at any time, as can a district governor. Seems like both people can enter comments at any time, and it just adds to whatever's already there.
To me, that sounds a lot better than being tied to specific visits, because then, you know, as an AG, you're going to be in touch with a club through phone, through email.
Yep.
You won't be tied to a club visit. Just a running commentary makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Has anybody logged in with the president to see if a president can see this field?
I would imagine they could. Don't you think? I mean, how else are they going to know what to improve on? But that's making a big assumption too.
Don't know.
I think we should always keep in mind that anything that gets written electronically is likely to be viewed. I bet like email, I'd use caution with anything I put into this.
I would imagine it's probably the president and the secretary for sure.
I don't know. I know that in the, when we were using Club Runner for our reports, the club president wouldn't automatically see it. We could forward what we submit, but they didn't have access to assistant governor reports.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, because I can go back and see Espanola, what Dave wrote about Espanola. It's not very nice. I don't know.
Would you leave Espanola alone, dude? I am going to assign you.
I think that if everybody can view the reports, an AG may not be as candid as they would if they know that just the district governor is going to see it.
Yep. That's my point.
The governor's not going to be candid either.
Yeah.
I don't want to be run out of the state.
But one of the things we talked about, I thought it was a really important discussion at the AGLG training, is that it's often helpful for, let's say, a new assistant governor, or let's say an assistant governor that's new to a particular club, can see information about the previous year.
Absolutely.
So this kind of, you can get a sense. I can see at least the ratings from last year. And as I said, I would expect that if District Governor Dave had written comments, that I'd be able to see those if I click on this. So this is helpful for assistant governors to have a new club or a new assistant governor to get a little bit of historical perspective.
I think it would be important at pets, don't even bring it up. If you don't even bring it, I mean, it's just an icon there. You don't even bring it up at pets. You're teaching them what you want them to do at Goal Central and the Global View. Don't even say anything about it. They probably will never go look at it or ask about it.
Well, and whoever's going to do this, if we're going to do a demo with pets, we better not be logged in as an assistant governor.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also.
Yep. Okay,
Now,
is there anything else?
remember, I opened my big mouth, and Club Central, they're sending somebody from RI. I saw them. We'll get them to not talk about this. Okay.
Well, we can talk to them about it too and find out what some of the glitches are and what the capabilities are. Maybe they know a way that we can get the LG to have access to these files. Maybe we make it a different position.
No, I did bring that up in my meeting because there's 3 of us that have LGs, and they're like, well, it's not a recognized, not that it, it's the standard sentence. I've gone through that for 3 years now, but there are other ways that people do it. People share their pass is what a lot of them do, but there's different ways to cheat it if you want to, but then you go, well, is that the 4-way test? So we just have to figure out, really making a copy is probably the best way to do it. But we'll talk to them. We'll see what they suggest. We'll bring it out in the open again.
I just noticed something. Here's 17-18, so current Rotary year. If I go to the previous year, notice over here it says club ratings are finalized, as if to say, when this Rotary year is done, Doreen or someone is going to probably do something to say, this rating down here is the final rating for 17-18. There may be some way to say, this is the rating and save it and that's it. Or come July 1st, whatever was the last rating would be the final rating. But clearly, the Club Central knows that last year's ratings are finalized because it says it right here.
Right.
I believe that's exactly right, Jeff, that when I finished my ratings of all the clubs, I just had a button that said finish, and I clicked it, and that was it.
Yeah. So maybe Doreen has that, and we can't see that.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. And she might not have that yet at this point. There could be something that it'll come up for the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay, so is there anything else we need to look at while we're in the club ratings view? Because that was really the last piece. This last option here just brings you back to My Rotary, which is nice because you want to be able to always go back and not hit a back arrow. But is there anything else we need to look at here before we get out of this page?
No, we've got enough challenges. Thank you.
All right, so I just clicked on My Rotary, and I'm back in My Rotary. So there's the tour, folks. Is there any questions or anything else that we should take a look at while we're logged in?
Not that I can think of.
I'm not hearing anything.
No, thank you.
So if that is it, folks, again, this has been recorded, so I'm just going to send everyone a link. Everyone who was signed up, all the AGs and lieutenant governors, whoever was signed up for AGLG training, we'll send them a link to this so they can view it at their leisure. Any other questions before we close?
I have a comment. This was really well done. And
Thank you, Jeff.
yeah, I think it was really important. You did a good job. I appreciate it too.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, can I talk to you and Jesse before we shut it down?
Sure.
I got an
Let me,
ROI question for you guys.
All right, so I'm going to stop recording.